Am I in? Yeah, I think so. Hey everyone, welcome back to Pick Up the Truth, live in the dark. How you doing? Today's video is going to be about Mother's Day. And we'll talk about Father's Day as well because it's pretty much the same thing. Another holiday that comes about every year in the calendar that schedules our lives. In the calendar they schedule our lives in. It's just another holiday, but they make us live through it year after year, repetitiously, programming us to be this way, controlled by the definitions they created for us to be, including mothers, the labels of mothers, the labels of fathers, moms or dads. They control us with those labels they created. And the fucked up thing is they get us to be these labels. But somebody has to talk about the truth. And that would be me. Hello, viewer. Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the live stream. How you doing? We're talking about Mother's Day. Talking about how it's a repetitious holiday on the calendar that they schedule our lives in. The thing is, oh, Johnny the Bird, how you doing? Good. Okay. How do you feel on the subject, Mother's Day? Let me see. Sorry. How do you feel on the subject of Mother's Day? Hey, MGTOW, how you doing? You always got to come up with that bam, huh? How you doing, man? Good to see you here. How you feel about Mother's Day? You celebrate it? MGTOW says, not bad having a so-called beer, as Mag would say. Johnny the Bird said it's hardcore. Was hearing the song Monkey by Pink Floyd earlier. Says Money is a hit. It's a hit. Yeah, Money. It's a hit. It's a programmed hit, right? Without money, they wouldn't control us. And they love to do that with Mother's Day too, right? That's what it's all about. I mean, let's take a look at Mother's Day. Let's take a look at the label mom or dad or mother or father. Take a look at that label they created to define us with, you know. You get together with a man or if you're a man or a woman, you get together with the opposite and create a life. And all of a sudden, they brand you this label of mother or father. And you're expected just to be defined by that label, that somebody else created for us to be. But now look what they do with that fucking label. I mean, they program us to the hilt with this label, you know. They even schedule us on the calendar with this label to force our children to buy us gifts every year routinely because they schedule us on that calendar. No joke. Every year we have to go through this shit for real. And every year they come out with new products that they use us to make as slave labor so we can keep spending the money they control us with. It's a fucking joke. But that's the way they do it. Yeah, MGTOW says I don't buy into holidays. I only celebrate Mother's Day to make mom happy. And that's the thing, MGTOW. They guilt us into doing it, right? I mean, they they've already got us accepting the label of the woman who naturally created us. You know, we're programmed to think of the person that created us, that we came from, our moms. They programmed us to accept that label they created for her, and now they make us feel guilty every year if we were not able to, you know, show our appreciation or respect for our mother, because they program us to feel that way too with this holiday. They program you to feel guilty if you cannot, you know, buy your mother flowers or candy or a card, or take her out to dinner, you know, or buy her gifts, or whatever it is, or however you're programmed. The majority are programmed to do all of the above. I mean, it's all to get us to be, you know, bought and paid for in this system they created. And we went to school to learn how to be scheduled on this calendar, you know. We learned the numbers. We learned how the numbers work on the calendar, you know. They taught us all how to be good slaves. But, that being said, I'm not taking anything away from a natural woman creating a natural child and bonding with that child, loving that child, you know. But it's just how they control us is ridiculous with these labels they create to get us to believe in. Why can't they just use these labels to identify us, but not control us with it? You know what I'm saying? So, if they want to call us a mother or father because we created a child, they shouldn't try to control us with those labels and program us with those labels and get us to, you know, live a certain way because of those labels. Because they do. I mean, look what they have for mothers, with these labels they created. Take the life of an average woman, before she has a child, she is the person they programmed her to be on that birth certificate. They already, you know, named her and labeled her as a gender, as a as a race, you know, as a person with a name that they can control, and then they get her to feel guilty. Well, they let's take a step back. Lost my train of thought. Okay, so they get her, they program her just like all of us to be what they created her to be on that birth certificate. But when she has a child, she creates a human life, then she automatically becomes a mother. You know, and I don't know how the human race allowed themselves to be defined this way and thought it was a good thing. I don't, and they keep controlling us with these definitions. What do you guys think about it? I mean, it's a tough thing, right? You can't beat Mother's Day. You cannot. It's a powerful force. It's going to affect you, and Father's Day too, because we're all programmed to believe in it. But it's controlled by the system of money, which enslaves us, and that makes it worse. So, I mean, it's horrible. What do you guys think about this? Any opinions? MGTOW says, I'd venture to say most money spent in holidays kowtow to women, yeah. Because they know that's where the money's at. You know, they program these women to be mothers, and that's where the money comes from. That's how they get them to spend money. They label them, and they get them to be a certain way with that label, right? They categorize all of these millions and billions of women, right? And they categorize them all to be the same, just like they categorize us too. I'm not discriminating. I mean, they categorize us to be fathers as well, and then they teach us how to be fathers. They program us how to be a father in this society their way, you know. And they have lots of specific ways you can choose from, but they're all going to lead you back to buying something that they created to help you be a better mother or a better father. You know, they're always going to have a product or a book, somebody writing a book to give you advice on how to be in this society, be the perfect parent, be the best parent. That's another way they control us with these labels. They create specific ways that we're meant to be programmed to do things, and then they tell you, well, you can be the best. you know? Well, I can be the best program parent. Okay. What if I just want to be me? That's the thing. They take our ability just to be ourselves away. MGTOW says, and if us men don't spend money, we get guilt tripped. Yeah, that's the other side of the label control. We get guilt tripped into participating and, you know, with the labels they control us with. And it's the same for everything. It's a bad, bad system that we've allowed ourselves to be trapped in. There's no other way, you can say it. People, people don't want to hear the truth, because they don't want to do the hard things to stop being programmed. I mean, can you honestly wake up tomorrow and say, well, I'm not going to celebrate with mom, or I'm not going to buy her anything, I'm not going to buy a card for her, I'm not going to buy her flowers? You know, are you going to do that? And if you do, is she going to be programmed to feel a certain way that you don't love her? You know what I mean? Or you don't care about her because you used to do it, but she's not going to understand that you woke up to truth, that you know, you're being scheduled on the calendar they created to get you to, spend money every year on this specific holiday. you know, People don't understand that kind of thing. And even though it's truth, and we can try to get them to understand, but they're just going to say, "Oh, you're using an excuse, not to get me anything." I don't know. Some parents will relieve their children of buying them a gift on holidays because they understand, they don't want their children to be burdened by feeling pressured by these repetitious holidays to spend the money that they're forced to live by, they're forced to live with. So I don't know. It's a crazy system we live in. But what are we going to do? It's a big force. It's already established. Somehow, some way, we have to get truth out to people to where they can break free from all of these terrible ways that they're programmed to be controlled. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. I mean, we can only talk about it, but actually, you know, getting people to participate, just like, you know, I have a girlfriend and she bought a card for her mom. And, she's going to want me to drive her over there so she can give it to her. And then, it's going to be like forced participation. There's not really anything you can do to stop this force. What are you going to do? And if you try to say something to somebody that's not, you know, your family, you're going to look like an asshole. Just how they programmed, you to look or feel about yourself if you tell somebody the truth. They're going to get upset because they're programmed so fiercely since birth to believe in something that's was always meant to control humanity. And until we get serious about looking MGTOW says, I also feel weird about people wishing me happy Veterans Day. Yes, I'm a vet, but I don't feel anyone owes me a thank you. Well, I mean, you say you're a vet, you're, a veteran. That's another label they control us, control you with. You know what I mean? Not to take anything away from your experiences in life, but these are just the things they control the masses with. You know, they get people to feel a certain way about labels, and they got people to feel a certain way about veterans as well. You know, there's good ways that veterans are treated, and there's horrible ways that veterans are treated, and that's a whole different subject right there. I mean, that falls into the category of how they treated our children, you know. So, did you voluntarily go into the service or MGTOW? I know, I was just curious. It's all right. I needed a small break anyway. I'm going to take a hit off the pipe. Yeah, talking about the military is a real sensitive subject because you know that's what they do with our children. They use them in their agenda, and the military is part of their fucking agenda. Uh, in no way do I take anything away from the people that go into the military because they feel they can trust this government that you know when they can't really see all the shit that they actually do to them. I've always felt that, for the most part, that I could trust the government until I found out the truth about them. Then you start to realize how much control they really have over everyone's life, you know. But it's terrible what they do to all of us. I mean, they took, sure, you can say, well, you're an adult when most people are an adult when they enter into the military, you know, but still not mature enough to actually make a good choice in their life, you know, for the most part. Some people are. But the military, they get you to believe in the labels they control you with as well. I mean, they really get you to believe in the nation that you're serving, you know. Yeah, knowing what you know now, MGTOW, you wouldn't do it again. Yeah, I didn't. I wouldn't think you would, but I haven't lived in your shoes. I don't know what you've been through. I imagine you've been through a lot. You know, they program you to do certain things, and they program you to be a certain way with their agenda, and then they get you to do things that you're probably not fully aware of the consequences of what you're doing. So I don't know. It's a very uh, messy subject to talk about because there's a lot of things involved. You know, they control our children, though. That's what we do know. And they take the life that we created and they use it for their own agenda. I mean, just the fact alone that they get us to believe that we're the name they created to define us as an American citizen, and we're basically believing in the people that have taken our natural land and resources away from us and forced us to buy it back. That's who these people are, you know, realistically. These people are the ones that took what naturally belonged to us and forced us to serve them and buy it back. And they're called the governments. And who controls the governments? You know, it's hard to know for sure, but the things they program us to do. MGTOW, you said after 9/11, we had do many newbie enlist. Newbies were coming out of the woodwork after 9/11. What do you mean newbies? You mean new recruits were enlisting? So did you serve in Desert Storm, MGTOW? Yeah. Were you exposed to any of the chemicals that they were so-called using, or was that just media disinformation? Or did they really use chemical warfare? Operation Iraqi Freedom, yeah. Yeah. Where was that? Over in Kuwait? I can't remember. There's so many of these operations. So what was the agenda? I mean, were you over there in Iraq? And were the people in Iraq being fed propaganda, just like we were being fed propaganda about it? Chemical threats were never a threat, lo and behold. Well, that's good. At least was that for everyone? Most people over there? Were there incidents? Mm, yeah. What made you? What made you say that you would never enlist again? Did you see stuff over there that made you think things weren't on the up and up, and in some way or another? Because I can sit here and I can say, I mean, they control us with the labels of the nations, and they get us to do things that they want us to do. But these situations that they create for us to believe in, sometimes they're real and sometimes they're just, you know, paid agendas to get people to do what they want them to do. And, you know, I don't know you know, what's legit and what's not as far as their operations. And it's hard to find the truth in it if you're anyone, I suppose. But if you're in those operations and you're seeing things in real time, MGTOW says it was all bullshit. These people used World War II veterans or World War II and Vietnam weapons. Wow. So what I'm wondering is there's a lot of misinformation or so-called truth coming out about 9/11, whether it was real, whether there was any people from Iraqi planes hitting the World Trade Centers or not. I mean, if you look at the videotape that they showed the public, it looks like the buildings were imploded, systematically imploded. I mean, they came straight down. I mean, if you MGTOW says, I came to a point where I said I don't have a beef with these folks. Yeah, exactly. You're right on, man. It sounds just like, you know, being controlled with the labels, being programmed to hate them for their nationality. And it sucks. It sucks. That's what they do to our children. They take the people we create and they brainwash them to hate others because of their nationalities. And these are the labels they created for us to believe in. And it's bullshit. I mean, but they continuously program the people we create and they use them against other people in lands that they want to affect in one way or another. And they can do it to our country too. But the sad thing is, these people they brainwash and program to hate other people and other nations, they're really killing and getting killed and getting injured for a lifetime, you know? And it sucks. But until we wake up as a people, this shit's just gonna keep happening. That's another way they control us with these labels of mom and dad. You know, they feel like they can come in our family and take what we've naturally created, the lives we've naturally created, our children, and use them whenever they want. You know, it all ties back to the system of money. MGTOW says, yeah, the buildings were done demo style. And where did the planes go? You know, I don't know. I knew a lot of people that were coming from New York at that time, and it was a sad time because that shit really did happen, and people really did die, and nobody gave a shit. It was like a scheduled event, pretty much. I mean, and then they had the nerve to try to get the rest of the nation and the world, for that matter, to believe in something that wasn't true. But they didn't give a shit about the people that died in that. They don't. Just like they don't give a shit about the people that die in the military. They take the lives we created, which your parents created you, and you could have died over there just as easily as uh, some other veteran. You know, uh, thankfully you didn't, and you came back with your experiences, and now you're learning truth, understanding what has happened to you. Now you know you're not really to blame for this shit that you've experienced in your life, but you're just somebody that was programmed to, you know, at somebody else's agenda. But that's how truth can help us understand the things that we've been through in our lives. And it helps us understand. So now, getting back on Mother's Day, it's it's a big force in our lives that it's going to be hard to break for a lot of people, because we're all programmed to accept how they define the ones who created us. We're all programmed to accept the definitions of this language we were programmed to speak. Truth goes real deep. People don't want to go that deep. They lose who they are. But if you didn't give a shit about your life before, it's easier to see truth and learn truth and give up who they programmed you to be. Fuck them all, right? Fuck the program. Who gives a shit? I don't anymore. I want to be who I was naturally meant to be. And I know it wasn't to be controlled in the shit they created. But it's hard. it's hard getting out and exposing the truth because people are programmed hard to believe in the things that manipulate them in their lives. Most people just end up hating people that try to speak truth, and you know that's always going to be the case. But in the meantime, with all these repetitious holidays, they program us to celebrate on the calendar they created to schedule our fucking lives in. They programmed us to buy all the fucking products they create. Yeah, you're right. It doesn't need to be a holiday. Exactly. Just like I was saying. I mean, humanity, you can say, well, if you want to say, well, mother is a label and we need those labels to differentiate between, things, well, that's one thing. That's fine. If it stops there, I'm cool. We're cool with that. I mean, nobody can control you with that, really. I mean, I'm sure there's ways they might be able to, but as long as you stop. But why do you have why does this system have to fucking manipulate these labels and control us with these labels and fucking compound program after program with these labels and get us fucked up with these labels? They don't have to, but this is a belief system, and they control us with this belief system. That's why, it's good. The more truth we learn, the more we can take ourselves out of this belief system, because you no longer start to believe in it. And if you no longer start to believe in it, then they can't control you with their deceptive ways. These these truths in plain sight. They can't control you with the things they created to control you with if you learn the truth about it. So, I mean, it is what it is. But sooner or later, humanity will wake up to how they're being manipulated, truthfully. And they will expose the lies a lot better than I am. And these systems will crumble eventually. That's the one good thing about it. What humanity will end up becoming after we get rid of these systems of manipulation and enslavement, I don't know. I hope it's a lot better than what it is now. MGTOW says, one thing that's always rubbed me the wrong way is breast cancer. It gets a whole fucking month. Of course, any cancer men get would never have a whole month. Well, see, that's the division they programmed you to feel right there, MGTOW. I mean, they're getting you to feel the division they created between men and women. Don't buy into that shit, bro. For all we know, they created cancer in both of us, and we should be going after their fucking asses. But we have to find out how these motherfuckers are creating diseases in us. We can't trust these people who fucking do this shit to us. No way. No way. And we have to not buy into their shit. It's division and hatred, and I'm not saying you're doing it. We're all programmed to do it. We're just not seeing what they're doing to us. But we're all programmed to do it. But once we start waking up to these things, we can take that control back, take that power back, and just be who we naturally are. Well, I hope you guys love who naturally created you tomorrow. I'm gonna, if my mom was still alive, or the woman who naturally created me was still alive, I would love her every day the same. I wouldn't allow this holiday to manipulate me any longer, but that's just me. My actions will be manipulated when I drive my girlfriend over so she can celebrate with her mother, but that's the extent of my manipulation on Mother's Day. MGTOW says, I used to enjoy football, but I can't stomach the propaganda in the NFL anymore. Yeah, bro, I stopped watching the NFL years ago. I think it was when when that when that no good quarterback in San Francisco that played for the San Francisco 49ers first took a knee. I started watching that shit because I knew they were trying to program me with some bullshit, and I was like, no, I'm not going to do it anymore. And it doesn't stop with just one thing they try to program your mind with. The NFL will take it to the extreme and try to program your mind with other things. I mean, hell, look what they do. They get us to believe in their fucking idols. Well, they create the idols first with the football players, and then they get us to put them on a pedestal so we can buy all their fucking uh, products that they put their names on, right? Imagine how much money that we fucking spend on these products that they get us to consume. They program us to buy. Wow. Imagine that all the people they enslave that way. I mean, product after product after product after product. People buy that shit, programmed to buy it. They got a system working. Yeah, it's called the system of enslavement. Yeah, that's just one aspect of the NFL, and not just the NFL, all sports. Not to mention all the money that they they cycle from the people from all the bets and wagers that get put on the game. Can you imagine all the fucking money that's being cycled with the bookies and all those establishments that take the bets? And I mean, it's crazy. I think they even legalized and Did they legalize it in Las Vegas where you can bet through sports? I'm not sure, but doesn't really matter. It's all about cycling the money. They make us all a bitch too. And wow, man, they even nail the fucking so-called family that just wants to go to a sporting event and enjoy with the family. But they can't see it's all fucking corporate manipulation and programming for you to spend the money you're a fucking slave to in this whole fucking world. They don't give a shit about that. And even if the so-called, stars or icons, sports icons they get us to believe in are really playing. I mean, they still use these people to fucking serve a purpose, right? I mean, it's a belief system, right? They still use these so-called stars, you know, for a purpose to make money, to fucking keep cycling the money from each individual repetitiously so it ensures that they're enslaved all their lives. Yes, they do it. That's the whole fucking point. That's the whole fucking point. And all of this because we've allowed them a long time ago to steal what was naturally ours, the fucking land and the fucking resources. And if we would have stopped that a long time ago, guaranteed we wouldn't be living the way we are right now. I don't know how we would be living, but wow, I can't imagine we'd be controlled, manipulated, and enslaved to the hilt like we are now. And that's why I created this channel. I created it to expose this system in every way. So people, you know, I know it's never going to be a big channel. I know it's never going to be popular with the people because the people are programmed to think and be a certain way. But there will be people that come to this channel to pick up truth, and they will pick the truth up and they will tell somebody else about it and influence them with the truth, and hopefully the seeds you implant in those people will grow and they will influence people in the truth. It's a slow process to fight the people who program us. But fuck, man, somebody's got to do it. Might as well be us, right? Or me. But I don't want to do it alone. Hopefully, there'll be some people wanting to join, wanting to live for truth. It's better than being manipulated. It's better than being drug around, led around, manipulated, controlled, told to do shit that the masses are told to do, and everyone complies. But try to have a good day with the one they label as mom. I mean, don't cycle too much of the money they make us a bitch to. Show her you love her. Just be there, talk to her, do something different than what they expect you to do. They program you to do what they get you to comply with, whatever it is. Think of something natural and have a good time with them. They are the ones who created us. And we have to respect and love them. Well, we don't have to, but it's it's always nice to. Even though they programmed us to be slaves in this world, we're convinced to. Even though they got us to believe in our enslavement, it wasn't their fault. It's a repetitious process that happens to every human, or most humans. Yeah, Jay Santos says, I grew up thinking team sports were a good thing. Yeah, me too, Jay. I mean, and I think it could be a good thing. I mean, I may be wrong on that, but I grew up playing, you know, hardball, baseball, little league. And I always enjoyed playing, but that was something they programmed me to do, so it could have been just a program distraction to keep my mind off being indoctrinated while I go to school. I don't know. But it is a sport that they mass program people to play, so I don't know how to feel about it. But what they do to it, Little League is different because, we're just having fun competing with each other, and, you know, sure, they make it into a lot. Jay says, nah, when you get to higher levels, you can't have your own opinion. Yep, that's true. Yeah. So they control the they control the professional athletes as well, is what Jay is saying. And I have no doubt about that. We're all controlled. Now, I live in Florida, and I've seen Shaquille O'Neal on a couple different occasions because I live in Orlando, and I know he's a real guy, and I know he's down to earth. It seems like, but of course, I don't know him on a personal level, and I can't say, if he knows secrets about the sport that we don't know. I can't say any of that stuff, but because I don't know. But Shaquille O'Neal, yeah, Shaquille O'Neal said, well, Shaquille O'Neal, I don't know, I don't even know if that's his real name. I mean, the celebrities, even the sports professionals, I think sometimes change their names. I'm not sure. But we have to be suspicious with the people who don't use their real names, because they put themselves out there and they don't use the names that they were programmed to be. So they really don't have to be accountable for any of their actions under that name. I mean, it would seem, but I could be wrong. But I'm not sure when you get on a certain level and you influence a lot of minds and you're generating a lot of money from the name that you influenced a lot of people to believe in. You know, like Shaquille O'Neal. It's a worldwide name that he has gotten people to believe in. Whether it's the name he was born with or one that's made up to make money, it's the same. It's the same. They're getting, they would control him just the same with, just the way they control us with our real name. You know, makes no difference. But I think the people that go by Johnny the Bird said rock bands and rappers are the biggest culprits. They were all just actors. And Shaq is a Freemason. He could be. I don't know. I mean, he could. He makes a lot of money in the media and for companies representing them with his persona, influencing minds to keep buying, keep buying, keep buying, keep cycling the money you're a slave to. Well, MGTOW says he has a square and compass ring. Yeah, I mean, could be in the secret society that controls all of us. Who knows? It doesn't fucking matter. We still have to wake up to how they control us. But I want to go back to what Johnny the Bird says. He says rock bands and rappers are the biggest culprits, and they're all just actors. And I want to expand on that. And look what rap has done, and rock, and country, and all of them, really. But rap in particular has corrupted society, I think, because they keep repetitiously coming out with new rappers over the years. You notice that, guys? And they keep influencing the children that keep being born, you know, decade after decade after decade, just like they influenced us with music, but they didn't influence us with what they're influencing the people, the children that listen to rap with, right? I mean, shit. They influenced the people that listen to rap with all kinds of garbage, gang mentality. Look at the gang mentality that rap has created. It has expanded everywhere in society, right? It has expanded even to the prisons, to the jails. It's how people are programmed to live now. And it's all because of the lyrics that were programmed in the minds through the music that they get us to listen to. You know what I mean? It's crazy. Shadow Mask says Ice-T and Nat Dog, Nate Dog or Nat Dog, I don't know. We're in the military. Yeah, but they probably weren't doing too much in the military. Who knows? Those people that influence minds on a mass level get special treatment. Magtal says all the songs about 3 a.m. are suspect. Well, 3 a.m.'s is programming for a lot of things, you know. It's just the Masonic numbers they fucking consume our minds with. You can believe it's the witching hour. You can think it's a Masonic number that they do rituals on. Who fucking knows? And they can get you to believe a lot of shit about that. Yeah, Jay Santos says, and none of them can fight their way out of a wet paper sack. Oh, yeah, it's all scripted. The lyrics are scripted. Who knows? You know, some of these so-called professional rappers or musicians may write some of their lyrics. Are they used? Who knows? But the way the way rap has systematically corrupted our society, it was obviously intentional, right? It's, intentional. And they get us to do it to ourselves with this belief system. So they get us to believe in these people they use to bring these scripts out on us. And in return, these people, these rappers, these musicians, they so-called get paid well for how they influence our children to believe and how they get them to do the things they want them to do, carry guns, be in gangs, do drugs, you know, overdose on fucking meth, whatever drug of their choice. I mean, heroin, it's rampant in the streets. I don't know. It's terrible the way the society has unfolded and we've allowed it with the programming. I mean, free speech is one thing, but corrupting our society with a programmed agenda is a fucking other. And we've allowed it for too long. Jay Santos says the misinformation comes from so many different angles nowadays. Exactly right. I mean, you can't trust the media. You can't trust politics. Hell, you can't trust religion. You can't trust anything. I mean, society is just, it's programmed and corrupted and controlled by the money we shouldn't be controlled by. And that's the whole fucking thing right there. We should have never, it goes all, it every time goes back to allowing these motherfuckers to steal what is naturally ours. It's what we should be living from. It's what we should have been living from, since we were born, which is the land and the resources that were created for us. Jay says Zionists have infiltrated practically everything. Well, I mean, Jay, I don't believe in labels. I mean, they get people to believe in these labels, and then they can make these fucking labels do anything they want them to and control you with it. You know? It's hard to believe in these labels that they create. Shadow Man said they wouldn't lie to me. I'm special. The public's thinking. Yeah. Johnny the Bird. I remember being in kindergarten just 1 year after being pre-kinder. A kid asked me if I wanted to be clicked into his gang. Wow. Wow, man. That's some shit right there, Johnny. You know it's bad when you're in kindergarten. Yeah, yeah. Shadow Mask says record labels. Yeah, record labels. Yeah, they make money. Those record labels make money. You know what that money is? That money enslaves us. The more money they can get us to spend on more of the products they create for us, and the more products they get us to buy, the more jobs they can enslave us with. It's a fucking never-ending cycle of shit. And as they're getting us to buy their shit, they're programming us at the same time. Shadow Mask says, "Did they censor Eminem comment? Did you leave one? I didn't see it. They must have." Jay says, "Oh, you're asking Johnny something." No, I mean, it's hard to accept truth. It really is, and it's hard to see the things that they fuck us up with, and it's even harder to accept it and try to change. But hey, you know, we just got to keep trying. Johnny from South Texas. So you over by the border, Johnny? Yeah, Johnny's over by the border. Yeah. Is there a lot of shit going on at the border like the media's been saying, or do they hype it up a little bit? Because I was wondering if I'm pretty sure. I can't be sure about anything nowadays, but when the media comes up, Johnny says, hyped up, there's cameras, cops. No one gets away with anything nowadays. Yeah. Well, that's the controlling system, you know. It's that program world they get us to believe in, right? I was talking to MGTOW. He said he was a veteran in the military, and we were talking about how they control them to get their agenda accomplished. But they also use the military and the police force to restrict the so-called citizens they labeled to be controlled, which is us. After they get us to believe in the Constitution they created to think we're free with, they create a whole bunch of laws to restrict our asses with. Jay says he served United States Air Force 6 years. And did you feel you were being used to serve the government's agenda, Jay, when you served for the military? Yeah, I'm not blocking any comments, guys. So if there's comments being blocked, it's being done by other forces. Jay says he went in at 19, thought I was doing the right thing. Yeah, they program a lot of guys to think that the military is the right way to go. It's not anyone's fault. It's just the way this society is. Shadow Matt says, let me guess, no one can see my comment. I saw that one. Yeah. Well, guys, I hope you have a wonderful day with the woman that created you tomorrow and every day for that matter. And try to spend as little of the money they enslave you with as possible. Give her more love than anything. Jay says the military chewed you up and spit you out. I'm sorry to hear that, bro. They do that to a lot of people. Just consider yourself lucky that you came out of their programming alive. And I'm glad you're here to spend time with us and learn truth. Fuck those governments that try to define and program us to and use us for their agenda. Yeah, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad I'm glad for every person that makes it out of that system alive. Well, you guys take care and you have a good night, okay? I'm gonna duck out of here. Take care.